Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Modded Megaquarium, a brutal campaign mode. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So I hope you liked that little time lapse at the beginning there. I wasn't quite sure whether a time lapse would actually work in Megaquarium or not, but I think I'm fairly happy with the outcome of it, and let me know down in the comments. Did you like that? Do you think it's a good thing for Megaquarium, and do you want me to do more of them? Or do you just not want me to do them at all? So yeah, I have done a huge amount of AFKing essentially over between episodes, and we've got a huge amount of stuff as well. The biggest thing I've done is just let the game run and run and run and run, build up money. We've been making like 1,500. I think at one point we were making about 2,500 per day before this overhaul. Of course, we've gone down a little bit now because we haven't got quite as much stuff, but it's set out in a much easier way. But I was actually able to get a full setup going here with our pumping systems. So we have an Uber heater, we have an Uber filter, and we have an Uber skimmer. And on this side we have an Uber chiller, we have an Uber filter, and we have an Uber skimmer. So yeah, that's like, I mean, nearly 250,000-ish just there. Yeah, so that's crazy amounts of money. So yeah, in here we've got a lot of stuff, and if we remember, to be able to win this level, we've got to get up to rank 10 and then a bit into rank 10 as well. And I think that actually might be coming up to rank 11. And we've got to get the daily revenue up to 4,000. Now we're nearly there on the daily revenue, to be honest. And this prestige will just go up and up. I haven't actually put the talks back in here yet, so that's something we can do to increase the prestige. But I think what I wanted to do today is get this brought out a bit at the back here, and we're going to put some chrysal tanks in at the back of this little staff area here. So I want a set of chrysal tanks along here to complement all of these drop-off tanks we've got. So that's why I've left these three empty at the moment. I've blocked off access along here. So what we can actually do, first of all, is just delete this row of things all the way down to here. And we can get the first of these chrysal tanks put in. I think actually one of the things... Yeah, no, let's do this first. So we'll have a look at the chrysal. Now we have these chrysal tanks, we have the cylinder chrysal tanks, and we have the rounder chrysal tanks. These rounder chrysal tanks are really quite big. However, I think this regular chrysal tank actually looks one of the best ones we can get. And there is a reason for that. It's mainly because in the modded, we actually have sand at the bottom of it for a start. It's size 64, so it's decent enough to be able to put stuff in. There's enough space to be able to put decor stuff in at the bottom. And as well, it means that with these, let's have a look. With these ones, they just look a bit plain, I think. I like them, I like the size of them. But there's not enough to be able to put in chrysal tanks but would actually suit this. Let's just have a look. Lots and lots of level ups. I'll sort those out in a bit. And get that. Yeah, there's not actually a huge amount that would actually suit going into this, because you can't actually put any decor items into it because they just sit on the floor. And if you can see, come right down to the ground here, you can see it's actually raised up off the ground a little bit on these plinths, and it means that none of the actual items will sit inside the tank. They will just fit on the floor, so it looks a little bit silly. And then with the other ones, the cylinder ones, these really are nice, but you can't drag them out, and they're really small, like ridiculously small. They're only size 23. But one nice thing about them is that you actually have this cylinder stuff to put in it. But that's all you can do. That's all you can really do. I think there is actually, yeah, this Chrysal cave scenery as well. Let's come back to that. So if we grab another one of these, place it there. Now I have used these in the past to good effect, but I think they can be quite difficult to actually work out what you're going to do with. If we come back down to ground level here, as you can see they do look really quite nice and they can be used to good effect. But I think in a situation like this where I want to extend over a fairly large amount of space, I do think that these ones are going to be best. So we're going to delete these. I'm going to get a couple more of these in. So I want these to be in a specific place, at least in this dimension. So I actually want these to be just there like that. And I think I'm going to have to put these in before I work out the spacing of these, how far along this way I want them to be. But on this side we've got these little corner bits here, so I want to do something similar to that. So we will go, make sure we know what we're doing here spacing wise. So if we get a padded bench and place that there and there, then we want a shark hat shelf there and a bin just there. And that'll tell us whereabouts the paths are going to be. I think they may have to be slightly different on this side unless we bring this in one further there, in which case they're still going to be a little bit too far because this is going to come along, well it would normally come along this way here, not quite like that. Scroll down, pinewood is the floor that I've been using. I do really quite like it. It's slightly different to the regular kind of shipwreck paint you get. We just get a bit of that. You can see it does have a slightly different texture, and it's a little bit less busy than the shipwreck, which I do quite like. So get the pine wood, just cover that over again. So that would be the normal area that we would go to, but I think that's we do need it one further out. So yeah, we're going to go with the Pirate Cove. We're going to push that to there, and that is going to be our path down. So that goes to there. And then we want the harbour side, which is going to be all the way down, and we want it 1, 2 and 3. So that's going to come to there. And then we have the Pirate Cove again on this side, and that's just going to come right at the back there. We'll leave this, actually no, I'll take this all the way around because I don't know where we want the next exit to be off this road. I know I do want one here, but I'm not sure where it's going to be off this bit. So I think if we drag a border down here, because this is going to be our next border bit, then once these are done we can open up this just a little bit. I think actually if we can this staff door is going to be an issue, so I'm actually going to sell that staff door off and put a bit of wood in there in between, and that means we can get rid of these up to here, and then separate it off like that instead. And you should not be there now. Oh, you can have that instead. Right, so now we want the other Chrysal tanks in. So we'll grab these and let's put them 2 apart, see if that works. But they might need to be 3 apart. If if we put this other side in as well, that'll tell us exactly where we need to be. So that will want to be there, there, with a bin and shark hat shelf. And then we can move these along just so we know how much space we've got. So we have 2 on that side, and then this one would be in the centre there. That actually looks like a decent amount of space between them. So that means, yeah, we'll have three chrysal tanks. That'll be okay. And so now we can bring these bits down to here. Can actually move that zooplankton over to there. Cut these bits out. And put some platforms in. Whoops. With some stairs leading down. Just like that. And so now we have all the chrysal tanks in. We can worry about those later, about what we're going to do in these. I just wanted to get them set out. So all this area is ready, essentially. We do want to cut this bit off there because that's going to be the staff area. And I suppose we can actually take this wall down as well. That means we can actually put another wall tank, a fairly large wall tank, which we are actually going to need because we have one of these, which is going to be a blonde skate with 6 different animals, including the blonde skate, with sufficient chilling. So I think a fairly large wall tank here would actually suit that quite well. So let's see what we have in terms of the large wall tanks. And we have actually we've just got a new one, which is, we say 4 deep wall tank. We bring that out to its full extent. It's a nice big tank for some of the active swimmers. And so now if we say we want to cut that off there, because one thing I want to do is try and save my prestige, and we do that by blocking access to the guests from these tanks, but we haven't quite got sorted yet. So if we bring that out, I think we need one more to there. We can bring this and put that in place. And now at the back here, in fact, there I will put a staff door. At the back, we're going to want some things coming up like that. And we'll probably have some of these auto feeders in with this tank, just to make sure that this properly gets fed. And let's run it, make sure we haven't messed up anywhere, make sure no one can get anywhere where they shouldn't be. Looks like we are woefully underskilled on our gift shop, and I've just realised we haven't actually got any broom stands in, so I'll put a few of these in. I'm also at this point going to put some mic headsets in as well, just so that we have those. And I think that's everything we need. Yep. So in here, I'm just going to go through these, make sure everybody is leveled up. Because we do have a lot of staff. I've made sure that we have a huge number, just to keep on top of all of the work that needs done. So we do have someone with gift shop 6, but it is a lesser priority than feeding, which as it should be, to be honest. And Zhao, let's increase your gift shop just a little bit. Try and keep on top of that. So in this tank, this is where we're going to do this blonde skate stuff. So yeah, let me have a look and see what animals we want to put into these different tanks. So I think I know what I'm going to put into each of these tanks here. The chrysal tanks, I've actually put another one in because we need one more of them, and it makes it even across here. There was like a 4 gap on one side and a 3 gap on the other, and it's really bugging me. I've also moved these pumps around to make them a little bit more even on either side. So these ones pretty much fill themselves out because there are only 3 different things that can go into chrysal tanks. So if we place one of these into there, we place one of these into this one, and we place one of these into that one, that's all the chrysal tanks sorted. We already have some zooplankton and some krill, so we shouldn't worry too much about that. I'll keep an eye on whether they are being fed up or not. And then this one is actually going to be for the blonde skate, and I'm hoping that we can play the system just a little bit with this one, because if we have a look at the skate, we have a blonde skate here, which can only eat crustaceans. We also have a grey skate that we could put in as well. So we'll put the blonde skate in. So we're on 1 out of 6. Now what I wanted to know was if we come into... Oh, let's actually do it this way. If we have a look at the cold water stuff, we don't have a huge amount of stuff that we don't already have, apart from these the crustaceans. We could put some of these in, so we could add in a purple starfish, because it's not going to eat that, and that does count as an animal. But what I was wondering is, will it count these anemones, clams and gorgonians as animals? So one thing I do want to know is this going to like the light? Yep, that's fine, and this is fine with lights as well. So if we added a power light onto here, we do need some sand eels. We'll sort that out in a minute because we've got a lot of other stuff to add in as well. So if we add in, say like a red fan worm here, just bring these up just to make sure there's no bullies. Nope, fine with all of that. So if we add in a red fan worm, yes, that does count. Oh, brilliant. So this one's going to be nice and easy. So again, if we come down here, we can get a fish eating anemone down at the front there. And now we're on 4. So again, if we come down, I mean, we could get a grey skate as well. This is going to go to size 8, this is 26. So we do actually have enough. 46, 54, yeah, we'll have 10 extra in that. Because this doesn't have a size. And this doesn't have a size. So that is 5. We only need 1 more. So if we scroll down again, we can get the green anemone and place that there. And there is that one complete. Brilliant. So now we need some cockles and some sand eels. So get some cockles and sand eels, like that. And then that's everything we need there. All of these are done. So we just need a bit of decor and stuff in here, vegetation, all of that good stuff. So place some of that in a couple of these and one there. Place some asparagus weed in here. I want this to be a nice colourful tank. And then we'll go for some velvet horn in this one. And there. And then I think we need some live rocks around as well. And maybe some kelp. We got this bull-headed kelp. That's quite nice. I think that'll do for those for now. I mean, we've got a little bit of space in this one for an actual proper decor item. Do we actually have enough space for some? Yes, we do. For some nets. And then we may as well put a couple of things around like that as well. Is there any space in this one? No, there isn't. Okay, we have one more space in there, but that'll be okay. So that's those done. The next thing we want to do is this well, no, not that one, the oddballs one. Over here in this tank, we already have two oddballs. We have a lump sucker and the old wife. So if we have a look for the oddballs, we have a few that we can put in. Now this one eats animals up to size 3. And this one will eat starfish and crustaceans. So this wolffish will actually go in. Eats up to size 13. Ah, no it won't. Okay. So we don't have enough oddballs to be able to do this, it looks like. And we could get it, because it would have to be this wolffish if we wanted to do this now. We might actually have to wait for this, because unless we limit this from actually growing up, and this is a big tank, then this would be able to eat the old wife once, oh, and the lump sucker actually, once it's fully grown. Yeah, so we'll have to wait for that one. However, this active swimmer one we can do in this tank here. We actually already have 3 active swimmers, I believe, over here. But making an active swimmer tank is actually going to be very, very easy, because we have so many of them available to us. We can just put pretty much any of these into this tank. I mean, we could either go for the gem tank, or we could go for, say, like 3 of these with a white tip soldierfish. So if we put that in, we can't have light, but that's okay. And then we can add in what's going to give us the most prestige. And that's only 5 prestige, but we go for one of those as well. That'll be okay with it. And then we have a few things here. Oh, we can't have anything with shoals, so we can't have that soldierfish in, because we can't have any shoalers. However, we can go for the best one of these, which is a phantom bannerfish. So we can't have anything else that eats krill in there. In fact, if we take that one out, and we can kind of hand pick these to be the best prestige fish we can get. So we've had one from the sturgeon fish, one from the butterfly fish. We can go for an angelfish. That seems fine. We have a bully, we have a wimp, okay. We could go for a leopard shark in here. Grows up to size 30. Ah no, it needs a rounded tank. This spinefoot will go in. And then we just need 2 more. So it looks like we won't be able to put the gem tang in. So we'll go for the next best, which is the black long nosed tang there. We will need a convict tang. Oh, can we put one of those in? That is a wimp. I believe so. And then the one down at the bottom here, the scrawled triggerfish. And there we go, that's that one completed as well. So now we just need to get this actually set up. So we need some vegetation and some rock. It's actually quite good with some turbine weed at the back there. And that's sorted all of that out. So now we can just make it look a bit more pretty. Have some red algae down there. And then some live rocks, I think. Got medium live rock. And then a couple of the small ones around like that. And a decor item in there as well. We'll go for, I mean, can we put canoe in? Yes, we can. There we go. So next, final things we need to add in to this are going to be into these tanks here. And these are warm water, fairly small, but we have lots and lots and lots of these clownfish and various different things to add in. So we scroll down to where we're up to. Sergeant Major we can't add in because it's shoals. The clownfish we could do. So this is a wimp and that's a bully. So if we do a bully tank in here and a wimp tank in the next one with that. No. And then this one will fit in any of them really. Into that. I only want very few fish in these anyway. I've got a couple in most of them, but I've got a couple in some of them, but most of them have only got one type of fish in. So that'll be okay like that. So now we can actually open up all of this area. We've completed all of that. So let's open up all of this. And there we go. We are now open. All of this is now open, and we only have kind of one area at the back here which I also want to do. But I'm going to let this run for a while now and see how that goes. We're going to have a lot more prestige than we did before. And we have just got up to rank 10 here. So this sorts us out really nicely for next episode, where we'll be able to probably actually complete this. We're not that far off of our goal of 4,000, not that far off the goal of the 4,000 revenue either, and we haven't even got any of the talks in yet. Realise we are getting a little bit low maybe on heat at some point, so we'll have to sort that out as well. But I'm going to keep this going for a while and make sure everything's perfectly fine with this. I realise there's a couple of things here. Combat tank, aha, right, that's going to be a problem. So we'll sort that out as well. Anyway, yes, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.